Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Mande Jagadigurum. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demon Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother Devaki, who is the source of all love and joy and the Guru of the world. We salute him again and again. Oh, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So, we are here reading the last chapter, and this last chapter, last part of Bhagavan Krishna's passing away story. So, Arjuna was anxious to know. Now, his elder brother was anxious to know what happened, to inquire about Bhagavan Krishna when he left kingdom of what called kingdom of Yudhishthira and went back to his own kingdom. And now also they are still now. There.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Dwarka is still there, but it is sunk under the ocean.
Oh.
As we are hearing now, the great destruction will happen, and Los Angeles will go under the ocean. New York may go under the ocean. Like that, Dwarka went under the ocean.
Did they find like ruins?
They found the ruins now, exploring by the naval department, government, army, naval, and then they just found that there is a big city, as described in the book Mahabharata. Description is there, and all those advanced city with drainage system and built up big palaces and the tools and archaeologically proven that it is very old like that. So Arjuna was sent to inquire about how is Krishna doing. So I don't get any information. So go, Arjuna, you are his friend. You will be delighted and also get to know. And he's not coming back and back and back. So Yudhishthira becoming very worried. Why it is happening? Is there anything happened? Is he dead or is he sorrow or he's lost? What has happened? And with much anxieties and worries, ultimately Arjuna came back and he was very grave. And Yudhishthira asked, why are you so delayed? Why did you not come early? What has happened? We are worried about it and this and that. And then what he said continued. And then he said, your Sri Krishna has left the body. Oh, that's a very painful story, And Bhagavan Krishna knew that first of all, God came down in the world to destroy the evil. So the two India, there are many kingdoms, small kings, and some have become very unworthy of being a king, bad kings, immoral, not looking after the benefit of their good of the uh, citizens, not taking care of their welfare, only keeping themselves engaged in singing, dancing, drinking, and as royal families sometimes go worst. So they're all engaged like that to destroy that demonic. Okay, so that was the cause of this two brothers problem came, Arjuna and Yudhishthira and others. And then he tried to compromise them and failed, and then again, then the war was inevitable. And after that war, so much was destroyed, and by this, the kings were also killed. The evil king, they took the side of Duryodhana, and good people came in the favor of Arjuna and Bhagavan Krishna. No? So this big war happened and all destroyed. Then what happened? Then the whole India was free from this type of destructive, negative kings. And Bhagavan Krishna gave shelter to the kings who were kept in prison. For what? For whose? King, that king was collecting, destroying, going into fight with other small kings, and then defeat them, and bind them, and bring them and put him into prison, so that he was planning that he will, when he will be succeeding in certain numbers, he will make a big yajna, and in that yajna he will cut all the heads of all these kings. So all types of nonsense things was going on. Society was, you can imagine what type of society was it. At that point, then they are all destroyed by Bhagavan Krishna. And now the whole India is pushed. But again, this Jodu clan in which Krishna was born, they, because of Krishna's presence, they didn't understand. They also become very arrogant. Good parents, but the children become very arrogant. And so arrogant, and they also engage themselves in drinking and drug and this and that. So to destroy that, the Bhagavan Krishna has a plan. Let them be destroyed also. So that was the situation when Krishna was going to leave the body. His own lineage of the family, no, they became unruly, unethical, immoral, and they are teasing the holy people, insulting sages. All the stories, there big stories are there everywhere. This book is so great. If you take one line, you can have a big story, about 10 pages story one. No? So I am not very much well versed with them, but I listened, but I forgot so many stories. So anyhow, so then Bhagavan Krishna, when he was going to leave the body, he told Arjuna, you please take care of these queens who are there and take them to safe where I am now. After my passing away, it will be a den of all nuisance. So, so you take them to safer place. But he could not protect when he was bringing them. Arjuna's prowess, he says, we'll read today, that my power is Krishna. When Krishna is gone, the same heavy weapon is with me. Same man Arjuna is here. But I could not do anything, powerless. This is the point, that whatever we do, there's a power behind this God. If we that there we get disconnected, then this you are useless, worthless.
Like when you do japa?
Yeah, then that comes back. That we'll hear today. So then Arjuna started saying, "Oh great king, Yudhishthira, I have been betrayed by Hari." Betrayed in the sense, whom I took to be my friend. Why? How betrayed? He deprived me of my prowess, which was once the wonder of even the gods. Because he took away, with his going away, he took away my Shakti also, power also. Just as a body, be it of a dear and near one, becomes an object of repulsion when life is out of it. Huh? So this world is very unpleasant place for me when it is even for a moment without the presence of the Lord within, because physically he is no more in the world. So he continued like that. It was by his favor. Now he's saying, all my glory is Arjuna, what he did. The world remembers me as a powerful warrior. By whose power? By Krishna's power. That's why one after another he is talking about how many powerful acts Krishna Arjuna did by the power of Krishna. He is reminding himself, this is not my power, it is his power. He was behind me. That's why I was protected. So he said, by his favor, I could easily overcome the prowess of many kings who had assembled under the influence of passionate love at the assembly of the bridal choice of Swayamvara of the Draupadi's court. That means when Draupadi was to be married, in those days there was a courthouse. In the courthouse, palace, and kings will be, all the young princes will be invited from all over India. And who can marry? The daughter of the king will be more powerful and strong, or the girl will choose someone, love at first sight, or they will know, oh, this king is so powerful. He has done this royal work, this fight with the tiger, or did kill so many people, and they're proud. That means there will be someone will come and introduce every prince and talk the glory of that power. And then look, energy, and the girl, if it feels he is my husband, you throw the garland, and that's the marriage. That is allowed.
But in case of Draupadi, she was very special and very spacious.
Yes, tell me the story.
She came out of Yajna fire. Her name was Yajnashili.
Okay.
So all over the India, they all wanted to marry Draupadi.
Okay, then
that is how they had to set up very tough tests.
Oh, okay. So,
Why was Draupadi so special?
Also, because she was born out, she is not an ordinary person. So powerful and pure, as you offer oblation to the fire, that's called the Jagna Seni. So offering was done out of that fire. The mother, Draupadi, came out, and it's so stainless pure. So who will be fit husband for her? So he should be not ordinary powerful person. So she should be. So Arjuna says, because of Krishna's power, I did that. I defeated other kings, and I could break Shiva's, what is called? Gandhi or arrow, and bow and arrow. No one can lift such a heavy thing. Others are trying to lift and they're falling down. Some is breaking its back. And Arjuna went and lift like that. So he said, it is not my power. It was Krishna's power. And that Krishna is gone. It's a lamentation with the remembrance of the incident. So that is, the assembly for the bridal of choice held Draupadi's court, could strike accurately the bow kept in a readiness, the target of the mechanically moving fish, and secure Draupadi as the bride. And that was one also broken. Oh, that is Rama's Swarup. I'm mixing with Rama and Krishna. So Rama broke that weapon of Shiva. But Arjuna, what he did, I told the other day. He was a fish is hanging in the sky from some roof or something, and there is a what is called disc rotating like that, and in between there is the eye of the fish is visible. You are not straight eye. You have to see the reflection in a water and see the eye of the, and then take the bow and arrow and hit and go there. Wow, it's not an ordinary thing. So he did it and he got success. That's why he said, the readiness to target the mechanically moving fish and secure Draupadi as bride. So it was not my power, it was by Lord Krishna's power. It was by his favor, another glorious story. I could enable Agni, the fire god, to consume the whole of the Khandava forest, overcoming the opposition of Indra and his following. Indra is the god of gods. He wanted to destroy the Khandava jungle, forest, but I stopped with a bow and arrow and stopped it by Krishna's power. It was by his favor alone that your brother Bhimasena, his brother is Bhima, 5 brothers. One brother is Bhima. So Bhima's possessed, what was his physical strength? Listen, 10,000 elephant power. We know of horsepower, isn't that? Engine is called 10 horsepower, 20 horsepower. It is not a horsepower. 1,000 elephant power. One elephant power is how much? About 100 horsepower maybe. That is invincible power. That much power was Bhima's power. Where he got the power? But because of Krishna. See, that is the insight. There's a spiritual person seeing everywhere God's play, God's force. We are nothing, we are instruments. These are all instruments. Good instrument, better power, smaller engine, smaller power. But the behind energy is the same. Same electricity is running a big turbine or a small motor engine, a small night lamp, and big glaring light in the, what do you call, in the stadium. So it is by his power. It is his power. So he's remembering that. He says it was by his power, favor, that the women folk of those villains who have been made to bemoan with disabled hair, the loss of their husband who died in the Great War, the very villains who had in the open assembly dragged your wailing queen by her disabled locks, which had been sanctified by the holy waters at the Rajasuya sacrifice. So it was he by whose power we have that lady was protected, no? Draupadi. Like that. It was he, means Krishna, who protected us from the curse of the choleric sage Durvasa. Durvasa was got one day, there is a trick. Durjodhana, Durvasa was a sage who was very angry. Suddenly he get made angry. But he is a Brahmagyani. But if he curse, then you are gone. So everyone is afraid. So one day, Durvasa wanted to have an invitation. And he had a big number of followers, his disciples. 10,000. And he is going, and he went to Duryodhana. And Duryodhana, they said, give me one day, I will prepare some better meal for you. But why not you go to Arjuna and go? Yudhishthira. He's a cunning. He knows that if Durvasa goes there, they have no food to feed 10,000 of his disciples and that Durvasa himself, no? So he will be angry. Then will curse. And by that curse, Arjuna and the family will be destroyed. So that was the bad idea of Duryodhana. So he sent them to Arjuna and Yudhishthira. And Yudhishthira, when they reached there, then Durvasa wanted to eat. But what? And Draupadi was in danger. Everyone ate and no food. How to feed so many people? But Draupadi has a pot, blessed pot, that unless she eats, there is some that pot will produce food automatically. That blessing was there. But that day she also ate, and nothing was found. And she remembered Lord Krishna. Oh Krishna, save us. We'll all be burnt into ashes by the curse of this Durvasa. He is coming. What to do? And Bhagavan Krishna appeared and said, yes, see, where is your pot? Eh? Where is your pot? She found, yes, that pot, but I finished my meal. Try, bring it. And there is one grain somewhere. And the Lord Krishna took that grain and touched in his mouth and ate and said, ah. And he's, as after full meal, we do express our, what you call, that
Satisfaction. Satisfaction.
satisfaction, but with a, say, ah.
Maybe took the bar.
Burping. As if Krishna eating that gets so satisfied, he started burping like that. And he starts into it. And this Durvasa, they are going to take a bath. And with his disciple, after getting bath, they are coming for eating. But as Narayana, Bhagavan Krishna, took that and felt satisfaction and burning, they all started filling up their stomach as it were after the bath, and they started burning. And they don't feel any hunger, so they didn't come back for food. So, see, the whole episode tells it is Krishna who is supporting Arjuna and his family, Draupadi, protecting the whole family from the curse of this Durvasa.
Because if the Lord is pleased, the
Ah,
whole world is
the
pleased.
philosophy-
Say that mantra at the
right,
end
right.
of the puja.
Yeah. That's why it is a belief that you please God, everyone will be pleased. Tasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If you can please tushta, God can be pleased. If you please God, jagat tushtam, the whole world will be pleased. Tasmin tushte jagat tushtam. And it is like that. As like you give water to the root of the tree. Root is God in life, no? If you water there, all the branches, all the leaves, everyone gets the supply. No? So please God first. That is the lesson in our life. There is another parallel story. As the story has come, let me remember that. Ramakrishna is coming from Calcutta. He was in Calcutta, Balaram Bose's house. And when he was coming, and he was in a boat from Balaram's house. You go walk a little distance, you get the Ganga, Holy Ganga, and the steps leading to the ghat, and there is a boat. A boat, people hire boat, and from there you're going toward the Dakshineshwar. Suddenly, Ramakrishna, like a child, he said, "Oh, I'm very hungry. Bring some food." Why they will bring the food in the boat? On the and who these and Latu was with him and Abhedananda or
Kali,
Latu, Kali and Arkeo,
Jogin Ma.
Joginma. The Joginma, Mother Jogin was with Ramakrishna in the same boat, and Latu and Kali. Kali is Abhedananda. So, and he said, then Mother Golab, Joginma has only one coin, maybe few pennies. So she said, yes, stop the boat. So boat was stopped in sudden next boat was going, suddenly Ramakrishna said, so nearby stop his place, says stop. And then she gave the money to Latu. And Latu ran and found some
Sweet.
whatever money they had, so gave some a box of sweets. And Sri Ramakrishna, as soon as they brought, okay, let us go. And Ramakrishna ate every item one by one, and everyone is hungry. All the young boys, they are also more hungry. And also that she gave the money. She also had at least one prasad. But Ramakrishna looking nowhere, said he ate one after another, and then took the Ganga water from the Ganges, and then drank. I said, ah. And as soon as he, and they, all the other three, they felt their belly is full. That's called God pleased. Everyone become pleased. This is also, it is a story in the past. We may think that it is all story. But in Ramakrishna's life it happened. You can find a simile like that. Though it happened with 3-4 people. But still 3-4 people.
Yeah.
Suppose you ate everything, my stomach will be full. It does not happen. But because it is Ramakrishna, he ate. And he said, he felt the satisfaction. So everyone felt satisfied.
So Vivekananda and Vijnanananda also the same.
Another story. Good. Another story. Vijnananda and Vivekananda. You know, Swami Vivekananda was then, Swami Vivekananda went back from this country and he's in the, now staying at Belur Math, newly built Belur Math. And when the newly built Belur Math, it was the Holy Ganga, there was no embankment. So some embankment construction was going on, and Swami Vijnananda, who was Swami Shahananda Maharaj's guru, so he was working hard, supervising the construction. Because when you know the tide, low tide and high tide, you have to quickly construct as much as you can. When the low tide comes, engage all the people together. It is odd time, you do not know when the low tide, when the up. And you have to construct quick, because if you just cannot complete before the tide comes, it will be all washed away. So it was very serious one. And it's hot sun, he was standing there and supervising the work. And Swami Vivekananda then, after taking rest, and someone used to give him one glass of juice, water, lemon, some salt, and some sugar. That's a like lemonade like thing. And it is very cool, a little one piece of ice with it. So it was enjoying, no, hot summer. So, and he was supervising, he saw from his veranda in the second floor that big Gyanananda Swami with a umbrella in the head in the hot summer. He is doing such work. So he ate, he drank, finished almost. And there was a little, maybe one sip or so. And asked somebody, hey, take this glass and give it to Peshan. His other name was Peshan. Hari Prasanna Peshan. Give it to Peshan. And that boy took the glass, empty glass, and he saw almost that little, he didn't feel that little is there even. And he felt so bad, he is enjoying the cool, resting and doing, and I am in the hot summer, and I don't need your glass of sila, but I am being ridiculed with this glass and this much. So, but anyhow, out of respect, okay. So last drop as he sipping like, and as he drank that little sip, he felt his whole body, mind, and everything got perfectly satisfied and pleased. So this is God's grace. To see that glory. But whose glory? Because of the glory of the Lord. It's Krishna's glory. It is Lord's glory. So it was by his favor that the women spoke of this. It was he who protected us from the curse of the Durvasa. That story we told about so much. No? It says Durvasa, the angry sage. So Krishna ate one grain of rice and felt that satisfaction, and everyone felt satisfied. And that's why Durvasa didn't come back for food again, because their belly is full. Then It is Indra's heaven, the might of my arm, which consisted in Krishna's grace, and my bow, the Gandiva, was shot by Indra, and the Devas for the destruction of the enemies. O King, he that source of all our strength has now deserted us. So this Krishna, this Lord of the world, who was always our support, always behind me, always behind the five brothers, no? He is no more in the physical body. So she has left the body. 14th verse, page 67. It was by his association that I was able single-handedly to cross the limitless and impassable ocean of Kaurava armies. That the armies of Kaurava, because their number is much higher than the soldiers who was in favor of Arjuna. So it was impossible to cross this army to kill the Duryodhana and their leaders, no? But by the grace of Krishna, we did it. By the sitting beside me as charioteer and moving in the front of the enemy army, which was resplendent with the presence of numerous kings, was led by the celebrated heroes like Bhishma, Drona. He took away from those great car warriors their life, mind, and prowess by his mere look. Bhagavan Krishna took sitting behind me in my chariot, directed the chariot to run through the army of the Kauravas, and then took the power of the greatest warriors like Bhishma, like Drona, the guru of the teacher of all the Duryodhana, Dushasana, and also Arjuna, etc. So their guru. So it is he took away their prowess and power, and he helped me to overcome them. It was by the protection he afforded that I was not even scratched by the mighty and unimpedable weapons used against me by Bhishma, Karna, etc. That means all these big warriors, they have invincible, powerful weapons. But Krishna was behind me. That's why all these powerful, what you call the bullets or the missiles, they have no effect in me. I remain untouched by any injury. How? It is Krishna. So, you see, when we learn to know in my life what has happened, what success, whatever any glorious thing, whatever I have done good, it is all by His power. It is His power, His power, His power. Then you are a bhakta. That is our lesson. Anything happens in life, not me. Don't take the pride for yourself. It is because of God's power, God's grace, God's blessings. So this is the lesson what we are getting from here. And Arjuna is openly declaring that at that point, recollecting his whole lives, all the great accomplishment, he did it. He whom the holy men worship for the attainment of moksha, and all the holy people in the world are offering oblation to whom? God. And here God has come down in the form of Krishna. No? So actually, all the holy men, they are adoring God, the Krishna, for their liberation, moksha. Moksha means liberation. Who, though the Lord of all, bestows his very self to the devotees. To him had I assigned the work of a charioteer. See my audacity. The whole world is praying to Krishna, keep a glance on me, I'll be liberated from bondage, life and death. I'll get eternal liberation. And see my audacity, I have made him my chariot, my driver, car driver. Nonetheless, it was by his prowess that the opposing kings in the battlefield were stunned and could not use their weapons against me. To kill me, they're frightened because they will have to kill Krishna also then. And in Indian chariot, you see, charioteer is sitting where? In the front, no? And who's with the bow and arrow, he's standing behind. So they should be very careful. They should not kill Krishna. Krishna, the redeemer of the whole world. Krishna, who makes them free and makes them liberated, moksha. Give her a moksha. That's why Krishna protected that way. They could not kill me because he is behind me and front of me. Here, front of me.
Because in the war, the dude, what do you say, the messenger and the driver,
They should not be killed. In the war, there is a rule that you can kill the whom you are fighting with, but don't kill the horses. Don't kill the charioteer. So that discipline is also there. And moreover, here is the charioteer is Lord Krishna. Even they are trying to shoot some missiles, which are very powerful missiles, but it will affect Krishna also. So they are terrified to do that.
Then Hanuman was sitting on there.
Hanuman is sitting on their chariot also. Yeah. That's the belief. There is a insignia, what you call the flag, where Hanuman is painted. Yes, painted, but it said that Hanuman is sitting in a subtle body and protecting the chariot itself. Again, the stunned were that the opposing kings in the battlefield were stunned and could not use their weapons against me as I stood on the ground while my tired horses were being given water. When is it? Oh, the horses need some rest in between. No, you can fight, but horses has to be in both sides. They should be given rest to water, to feed them something. O king, my heart is distressed in the extreme when I recall how he used to joke with me. Huh? This is one of the beautiful verses in Sanskrit, 18th verse. It says that when my heart is distressed in the extreme because when I recall how he used to joke with me, bathing me in his brilliant and charming smile, how in serious conversation he was accustomed to address me as O Partha, O Arjuna, O friend, O noble one of the Kurus, O son, and so on and so on. In the course of our close friendship, maybe while resting, relaxing, eating, or joking, whatever the sarcastic or insinuating remarks I used to make, he bore with patience and magnanimity as a friend would do with a friend and a father with a son. That is the verse number 19. Beautiful. Sajja, asana, atana, vikathana, bhojana, dishu, ekad bhajassa, ritavaniti vipralamba. Then he says, friend, one friend is talking to a friend. And that time when you talk to a friend, it is equal, like equal friend is talking to friend. There is no such respect. Oh, he is God, I am talking to him. No. So we used to chit chat, we used to make fun of each other, we used to tease each other. Huh? But you took it everything as like a lightly as friend. But you are the Lord of the universe, no? So, O great King, now that my heart is spiritless and weak because of the absence of the Great One, my dear friend and well-wisher, I have met with a defeat, even at the hands of a few wretched herdsmen on the high road as I was guarding the evacuation of Krishna's family from Dwarka. As I said, Krishna said, take all these family members in a safer place, but he could not protect them from the highway robbers and because Krishna has no power. Though the arrows are there, bow is there, The person Arjuna is there, but the inner force is gone. The same bow, the same arrows, the same chariot, and I, the same occupant of the chariot. These are present now as they existed before, when even all the royalties bowed their heads in submission. But alas, lacking the presence of the Lord behind these, all of them have been reduced to utter futility, like sacrificial offering made in the ashes, an illusory castle built in the air or seed sown in the desert. He's giving an example. Suppose if you put ghee, clarified buttermilk, on the ashes, what will happen? There is no flame, there is no offering, there is no consumption. So similarly, now Krishna is gone. Because of that, my bow, my arrow has no power. And my car, which is so strong, it lost its strength. My hand have lost its power. So everything is powerless. It is like building castle in the air. No, it looks like that, but there is nothing in reality. O king, all those about whom you have made kind inquiries are no longer in the land of the living, owing to the curse of the holy men whom they insulted. They lost their sanity of mind. Their family members, as I said, the Kauravas, what is called the Jadavas. Krishna was born in the milk cowherd family. They are milkmen. In their kingdom, he was born, and no one survived there because of their children become unruly, as I said, and they become addicted to drinking, unethical, low, or immoral life, and as a result, the Krishna himself being there, the decadence and degradation started, and they lost all purity and sanity. So they started, as it happens, when your moral values goes away, what happens? A brother will fight against brother, sister will fight against brother regarding land, property, minimum things, because they all lose their balance. So the total destruction happened in the family of the Jodhus. They lost their sanity of mind, drinking inordinate quantities of liquor, forgetting even the identities of one another. They have all feasted themselves. They have all fasted, not feasted, with fighting with each other in the death, in a drunken brawl. Only 4 or 5 of these friends of ours are surviving. The whole entire family has been destroyed by the feud between themselves in their own family member. No, you can fight it outside if you are together in your family, but your family is divided, then you are gone. India was how the India became went into the hand of such a prosperous country, went under the British Empire. How? East India Company. How? Because they betrayed among themselves first. And thinking that I will take this advantage, I will, my brother, I can deprive them, then our external force is supporting me, with that I will be the possessor of everything. But when they come, they kill you also. So you are gone. So this is the way this entire Jodu clan is gone, only excepting a few surviving. It seems to be a law ordained by the Lord that living beings destroy themselves. This is very moral teaching for today's day. It seems to be a law ordained by the Lord that living beings destroy themselves by mutual feuds and prosper by mutual cooperation. Look at the world, Russia and Ukraine. What is going on? Live safely, Baba. No, I'll have to have this. And 1 million soldiers are surrounding Ukraine. No, ready to gun. And what the ordinary people will suffer for this? The ordinary people will suffer. No. So this is seems the law ordained by the Lord that living beings, they destroy themselves. Not do anything. We destroy ourselves by mutual feuds and prosper by mutual cooperation. If mutual cooperation comes, we all join together, the world would have been heaven. Why there should be homeless? If they, see the total fund and position, the money in this country. Why a person will be in hunger? Why they will be homeless? So much money, give little bit, equal distribution, cooperation and love. We can build heaven. And me, mine, this, that, squeezing. Huh? In a corporate structure, it is always happening. Companies, one meeting, 300 people, jobless, go one day. Okay, but where they will go? What they will eat tomorrow? So we can make ways and means to survive together, cooperation. That's why human society survives with cooperation and is destroyed among internal fight. It is found in nature that large creatures feed on small ones. That's natural. Big fish eating them, small fish. Strong ones on the weak ones. Huh? Strong brother will be fighting and taking away the of the small brothers. Huh? And then the strong ones come into mutual conflict, taking away all the wealth and prosperity from the weak people. You become rich, you become mighty. Then another person has the same interest on that area. They get into fight, and then mutual destruction starts. The human psychology, they have studied this. That is, destroy one another. Even so, in order to lightening the burden of the earth, the Lord used the powerful Jodhus to destroy other powerful clans and finally made the Jodhus destroy themselves by mutual conflict. And first, they become powerful by mutual cooperation and things. But again, they become so powerful like that now. Big, small, all the small companies are going on. And now, big companies what? Ah, and you can get from a needle to a elephant, whatever you want. Any item, you need a book, you can write. You need a pen, you can get it. You need shoes, you can go there. My God, whatever you order and how. Cow dung cake. That's true. Rarely, many Indian things, which is impossible to get here. You order in Amazon, you get it.
Oh, really?
Ah. And in puja articles, sometimes you cannot find anywhere in this. It's possible. But just you sit here and your computer, you order what is called the sindoor. They will send you sindoor. Sindoor, you know, puja time. Vermilion put in between. That's the auspicious thing to put. So, but what about the small companies?
Yeah.
They cannot compete with them. So they are all swallowed. And then what will happen? Who will be the owner of Amazon? And if the Amazon, among the ownership, there comes some fight. Then it disintegrates and goes away. So this is the human nature. So my mind is seeking refuge in remembering again and again the instruction of Krishna, always suited to the time and place, and giving relief to the troubled mind of man. So my mind is now seeking refuge. Now, understanding all these things, Arjuna says, my mind is seeking refuge. Where? At the feet of Krishna. the Lord of the world. And remembering again and again the instructions Krishna gave me in the Bhagavad Gita, I know in the Santi Gita, huh? Always suited to the time and place and giving relief to the troubled mind of man. So I am remembering what Krishna suggested, what he taught me in the Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Now I am remembering all this again and again. Now the Sutta said, the mind of Arjuna, which was merged in Krishna under the powerful sentiment of deep friendship, became pure and got settled in calmness, thinking that all my lives, all the glory behind is Krishna, His grace, His compassion, His friendship, His love, His spirituality protected me. Thinking thus again and again and again, Arjuna's mind got tuned up to the consciousness of Krishna. And then what happened? As he became pure. His mind became pure. Mind was restless before, but thinking of the glory, that's why it is said, you cannot meditate, but you can think of the glory of God. You can think of the glory and holy deeds of the Lord. That's called the Leela, divine sport of the Lord. That purifies your mind. So this is a spiritual journey also. In our life, if we can recall that whatever accomplishment, whatever anything good I have done, oh Lord, it is your, it is your, it is your. So our mind gets subdued and gets in spiritualized in this way. And as a result, what happens? Mind becomes purified. And then you become fearless. So why am I to fear? He who has protected me from my childhood, he will take care of me now. What problem is more there? He is more powerful than the problem. So that type of confidence comes. So it says that the mind of Arjuna, which was merged in the Krishna under the powerful sentiment of deep friendship, became pure and got settled in calmness. By the power of devotion, now intensified by continuous thought of the Lord, so his mind is now thinking Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Arjuna's understanding was freed from all impurities, and he once again recovered the remembrance of that saving knowledge which the Lord had imparted to him in the battlefield, that is Bhagavad Gita, and which has been abstracted from manifesting the forces of time, karma, and worldly endeavor, which has in between, they forgot that story because after the war was over, they started being in the kingship and the other duties and activities and also royal pleasure and things. We do that. We get the glimpse of God, but in between we forget. Why? When other preoccupation comes in our life, our enjoyment, our fun, our other tidbit thing comes, it obstructs us. So it happened with Arjuna, but now Arjuna is coming back to his senses again. By the experience of the Supreme Being, he was now free from all the sorrows and doubts arising from the sense of duality. As he experienced himself as pure spirit, the hold of the gross and subtle body slackened, and he was readily he was ready for the state of beyond return. So his mind now didn't stay in the body. What will happen to me? I lost my strength. Not. He is now tuned to Krishna. As a result, this identification with this body and this subtle body, means the mind, was slackened. And he was ready for the higher state to return.
You have a question and a comment.
One question?
One question, one comment.
Okay, let me go a few verses, then it end. Hearing about Krishna's departure from earthly life and the destruction of the clan of Jodhus, Yudhishthira made the firm decision of taking the vow of abandonment. He thought that, let me go out of the world. No? My purpose is done. Krishna is gone. What is my purpose? Pritha, who is the mother of Pandava, on hearing Arjuna's report on the destruction of the Jodhus and the Lord's ascension, gave up her earthly body by uniting her spirit with the Supreme Being to the one-pointed devotion to Him. See, they are so powerful. They thought, I don't want to live anymore. And they tuned the thought of the Lord and left the body. Can we do that? Even the yogis cannot do that, no? So they are such spiritual people. So mother left the body. The Yudhishthira abandoned the kingdom. A thorn is taken from the body with the aid of another thorn, no? And after the work is done, both are thrown away. So also the Lord assumed a body for lightening the burden of the earth. And having done it, He threw away His own body also. For the Lord, His body and bodies of others are alike. He embodied Himself as fish and other incarnations and abandoned those bodies, having fulfilled the mission. It is the story. Bhagavan took different bodies, no? Boar body, fish body, Matsya, Kurma, Baraho, Nishinga, man lion, all these different incarnations, Dasa avatar, 10 incarnations. So, but those bodies he took, fulfilled the mission, and gave away that body. So here also Krishna took the Krishna form, fulfilled the mission of establishing justice and truth, destroying the evil, and then the body, threw away the body. In the same way, He abandoned this body with which He lightened the burden of the earth. But in the midst of these changes, He remains the same. But these are changes in the body, but He remains the same. Just like an actor who plays several parts without changing his identity. Okay, so I will end here then. This is verse number 35. I end here. We will read next day from 36. Now we have to have some question. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So here is a question. Can we solve world's hunger problem by offering food to God only then? Yes, you can suffer if you have that much faith and God gives you promise, then it will be so. But better our work will be in the material plane. So to feed the food to the hungry God. The God in the human form who is hungry, we have to feed Him, then the Lord of the universe will go opposite way. We gave the example, these are exceptional example, because there the Sri Krishna, the God Himself is standing before. Here Ramakrishna standing in front, Swami Vivekananda standing there himself. And so even if they give it, He Himself is satisfied, everyone gets satisfied. But if we work in the physical plane, everyone's hunger will be satisfied. Yes, if you can awaken the Lord like a living being and can please Him, He feels satisfied, everyone will be satisfied. But be realistic. We live in the real world. I am talking to you, you are talking to me. So in this plane, I am hungry, you give me a food. And you think that you have given God in me. Then that God will be happy.
And also it is not about my offering of food. It is about pleasing the God.
Pleasing the God. So
not
much
to-
food is offered on temple. but still so many people are hungry in the world. Could you clarify? Yes, very important question. We give it to God. See, when we offer, do we think God will eat away? See, if really God eats everything, tomorrow no temple will give so much food to him. We remember this small story in the Ramakrishna story. Eh? There was a family deity, and the mom and dad, they said, we are going out today. You, my child, we are preparing the meal. Give the Lord the food and feed him. So, and then they went away, and the child has faith, simple faith. So he took that plate and said, "Oh Lord, please eat." Lord does not come. It is a photograph for us, like a photo. And he's saying, "No, you are sitting. Please come. Mom said you will eat." And he started crying and weeping and sobbing. Same from the photograph. He saw somebody came out and he sat and ate and finished meal. No? And the family all after that they came back and they asked, "Where is the food, Prasad?" Then the child said, "God took away everything." But no, how can that be? So we give every day, it comes back to us. So we have not that faith, and he is not going to do that. But when the faith of a child will appear before us, then he will eat. And that day, of course, if you feel that God is pleased, everyone will be pleased. But that's a very transcendental truth. I cannot talk about that. But every day, if we really feed that prasad to the hungry people, God will be pleased. It's the opposite way. We have to go from opposite side, from human to divine side. There we are talking divine side to human side. God is what? Swami Vivekananda said, who is God? God is the sum total of individual souls. God, who is defined sum total of individual souls, you, me, and millions and billions and trillions of people. No? Sum total. You consume them together, that is called the God. So if you start here, at least giving, and that goes to the sum total, a little bit of that sum total. So that should be our attempt. Swami Vivekananda's idea, please take that idea and feed my God the poor, my God the hungry, my God the diseased, my God the lowly of all clan and all clime, of all races and all countries. No? So that is, feed them, serve them, God will be pleased. With the attitude, not with the idea of charity, not with the idea that you are a very big guy and you are compassionately giving some $1 to a hungry person on the street, but think that you are serving God. Another question, I noticed that the furthest you are from God, the worst God will bring out of you. However, the closest you are to God, the best God brings out of you. Wonderful understanding. We should be close to God. As we go furthest from God, then naturally, who remains? If minus God, who are we? Flesh, bone, my ego, my mind, my emotion, my... Think of a robot. Robot eyes, robot ears, robot hand. No? All these are there. Plus, all these are there, but there is eyes, and there is mechanism, hand will move, leg will move, all these are there, no? That means body is there, mind is there, intellect is there, ego is there, all these are there, no? But if the energy is not supplied behind, that is God. If you opt from that, then it becomes a robot, dead robot. This body is a dead body. What remains? My ego remains, my body remains, my mind remains, my emotions remain, my intelligence remains. That is the world. So when you are off from God, a mass of materialistic thing remains, which is all detrimental for our life to exist, suffering, displeasure, discontent, all will haunt us. But when it is connected with God, it can do wonders. So that's true. We should be close to God. Even if I forget all that sometime, let me remember now. Get connected, get connected, get connected. Huh? As I jokingly say sometimes, the God's hotline is always open. It does not get engaged. Huh? Because we are million people praying, whether God will be answering my question first or your question first. You need not have to worry. He can answer your question, my question, everyone's question. Even the rat, cat, the mouse, the tiger, the leopard, the trees, the plants, and the hummingbird. He listens to everyone at a time and respond to that. So that is our God.
There is one more question on the computer.
One question in the computer. Okay. If Krishna is protecting everyone, then how come sometimes bad things happen to good people? Yeah. Bad thing and good thing is in our eyes, is it not? I expect this is good, I think it is bad. Duryodhana was bad, Arjuna was good. And good people suffered all through their life. And Duryodhana was the king and enjoyed every palatial fun and joy and riches. No? But the question is that protecting everyone, protecting means what? Protecting our spirituality, our inner peace, our contentment. Who is more contented? Who is with God? He or she, or who is away from God with pride, with ego. As I said, just the robot. Robot have a eye. Robot have some mindset. As this robot have everything. Suppose God is disconnected. Eyes will remember, eyes remain, and everything remains. But how they are functioning? Mind will remain, ego will remain, but they all functionless because the energy supply is not running in proper direction. So the body will remain, mind will remain, but they will be a dissatisfied mind, distracted mind, helpless mind, full of anxieties and worries, that mind. But peaceful mind, joyful mind, blessed mind is that mind which is connected with God. In utter distress, one can be very happy, thinking of God, my support, my love. And a person with big support from society and others, no, can feel very unrestful, very distracted, very lost, high tension, high pressure, high anxiety level, suffer from those things. So satisfaction comes in God. That is why we should be, sometimes it brings happiness. That the question is that how come sometimes bad things happen? And also bad and good, you can understand what you mean by bad and good. Bad means material loss is bad for us. Anything someone insults me, that's bad. But in spiritual sense, oh, he's crushing my ego. He's making me humble. Eh? And saying, also showing me the world is unreal. See, you are so good, but that person got so much benefit from you, and he is criticizing or she is criticizing. See the world. So it is a benefit for them, which is bad in the eye, one side. That can be a sign of greatness also, to analyze, to understand the worldly character, and to make us spiritual more. So from spiritual side, there is nothing bad. If you analyze any incident in our life which has caused us suffering and pain, these are little lessons. Those are points where we can awaken ourselves. And rather pleasurable moment, happy moments, they have acted wrongly. That time we forget God. we think not of God but other things. So it is a relative thing. But you know that if we follow the path of righteousness, suffering is there. And suffering is to be taken as a blessings of God, because that is the moment we can connect with God, not those moments when I am in my riches, in my pride, in my pampered situation. Everyone say, oh, Swami, you are so great, so great, so great. Danger for spiritual life. No? Because you will get absorbed in that. Oh, yeah, I am so much. No, so. Huh? And when you say, hey, he is a sadhu, he does that. Okay, good. Because you will be aware. You will be aware, oh my God, they're watching. Maybe I should be better one. So it can be taken in positive sense. And spiritual life should be always. And these are lessons. And these awaken our inner consciousness. So not always bad. Okay, thank you all. Then we'll see you again at 7:30 in our Shanti Gita class. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Please class. Naki. Gita, please. Shanti Gita, the song of peace, that class. Okay? Thank you all. Jai Ma. Tomorrow is to be announced in the evening time. Tomorrow will be gospel class. Yeah, in the evening.
You're going to give it,
Tomorrow.